why income, he wondered which income we are to follow. He asked us how we account for or report donation in kind. In response, Brother Emeka Idigbo's observation, the auditor, Brother Oyetayo, agreed that the note should have been added to explain the recurrent expenses. He also explained that there is a difference between receipts and payments in cash account and income and expenditure. For instance, communal offerings are not the same in both. Professor Godwin Ejodame noted that on page 39 of the brochure, our insurance premium was lower in 2023 than in 2022 and wondered what had happened. Brother Idowu explained that we had a review of items on the list to be insured and found some items like plastic chairs damaged, and thus these were omitted from the schedule and the premium to be paid. Mommy Olushola Dalmeda commended the vicar, the clergy team, and the wardens for a job well done. She noted with joy the improved income in 2023 over that of 2024, as recorded on page 33, and that harvest income rose from 17 million to over 19 million, of which family harvest increased from 8 million to 9 million. She was of the opinion that we can do better and encouraged all present to ensure we all present our families to the Lord during Family Harvest Thanksgiving. She opined that we could improve at least 5 million in 2024. The motion for the adoption of the account was moved by Apostle Uzoma Ogoma and seconded by Professor Godwin Ejodame. The vicar called on Mama Ernestina Okeke to appreciate the wardens and the auditors, and this she did. Dissolution of the outgoing PCC. This was done at 2:44 p.m. The vicar dissolved the outgoing PCC. The business of the day. Nomination of secretaries and electoral officers were held. He then appointed pro tem secretaries, Sister Chioma, Brother Emmanuel Agomo, to take the minutes of the meeting. And he also appointed Brother Shola Oyetayo as the returning and electoral officer. The elections held and the guidelines for the elections were read. Nominations took place, and the schedule below had 17 people nominated into the PCC for that year. Brother Shola Oyetayo was also appointed auditor, while we considered a second person after confirming the availability of Mrs. Blessing Jasper Umbamara. Brother Omotayo Adeshino was also appointed as Vega for the year 2024. Presentation. The PCC members for 2024 were presented to the House by the returning officer, Brother Shola Oyetayo. Brother Odun Kukponu, speaking on behalf of the newly elected PCC, promised that they would do well and surpass the achievements of the previous PCC. The vicar called on Sister Elizabeth Idowu to pray for the new PCC. Any other business? Apostle Uzoma Ugoma sought to know the commitment of the church on the death of members. He noted that members from the southeast who died had to be taken home for burial, but his concern was that church did not send representatives. He noted that payment of annual dues is a sign of commitment and stewardship. So therefore, when anyone dies, representatives should be sent. His conclusion is that church should send representatives or should at least give some money. He estimated about 50,000 at that time to zones to support those who are going for funerals in terms of transport fare, accommodation, feeding, and all. Mommy Ernestina Okeke supported this motion, and she urged the church to look into it as it is important in the East. Sister Nkiru Pratt also supported that the church should send representatives, as at that time it was only societies who were doing that. Daddy Chioma White noted that the practice started during the tenure of Venerable Agbelusi, and that if member from the southeast origin died, Venerable Agbelusi would support with his personal money. So the vicar, in responding, promised to look into these matters, but reiterated the following. Celebration of life and death is a recurring decimal. He urged people to join societies as these serve as care groups to their members, and that once people from a society attend burials, it is deemed the church has attended. The vicar then gave an assignment to the leadership of the Southeast zones in the church to check for at least 6 other churches in the Diocese of Lagos West what their practice is regarding the funeral of members outside Lagos and provide feedback to him. After this feedback, then, he will deliberate on the matter and give his response. But as at now, there was no such provision. Closing formalities. In the absence of any matter, the vicar thanked all who attended the meeting and also gave thanks to God Almighty for a successful Vestry meeting. Brother Ruben Umeokafo moved the motion for the adjournment of the Vestry meeting, seconded by Apostle Uzoma Ugoma at 3:26 p.m. The vote of thanks was said by Sister Catherine Abuaja. We took the closing hymn from Church of Nigeria Hymnal 140.